Blessings upon you. Certainly. May Kai's word all...
Oh, really? And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me. But go ahead. Surprise me. Have I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor? Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably. This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change. I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged. I need some time to get used to it. Why did you show this to me? Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Seawall is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable. What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Camelot? Everything we believed was a lie. You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Camelot was back then. What matters is what we are now. And we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain. Any ideas? It sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity. And we'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out. All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him. He won. I'll support this case, if only for the safety and well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
Ah, you're back. So, what news do you bring? Did you talk to Feargas? Good. Just as I expected. I do feel for the boy. He really loved Camelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the Horns. Nicely done. Now, I'll get One Eye, and together we'll go to the Horns with the good news. Not everyone will be happy about it, but that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the South. After that, whatever they choose to do is up to them.
Brothers, today marks a new chapter in the history of the Horns of the South. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty. I understand your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the weirdness. Camelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All they do is take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark. Camelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawall Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us. We were meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them. And all this time, do you know what they've done to the founder of the Horns of the South? For over 600 years, Seawall has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Camelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawall's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honour an oath made to dishonourable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead. Galahad's death is our chance to break free from Camelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take. You're probably wondering, how can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Camelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologise, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led by One Eye.
I know, my brothers, I know. This must be a shock, especially since I didn't share my plans with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Horns of the South and the Dal Riada tribes, we are securing the safety of the South and our independence from Camelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask
is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dalriada fight in the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course, if anyone isn't in favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oaths. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duties and rest easy. The Horns of the South will endure, and soon we'll be stronger than ever before.
An honest matter. What do you need? Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the Horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers. Well, none of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake up, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first, you'll need to find a way to fix it. And since it's made of weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble. Of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe something entirely different will happen. It's your risk and your decision. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
Oh, not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle.
Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you could bring it over so I can see what you've made. How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment. Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
Perhaps. I cannot say for certain. My memory remains too clouded. It seems familiar. I do not feel my soul bound to it, but I know our path shall lead us here, one way or another. Something lingers beyond this gate. Something ancient. That much I know. We'll find the truth soon enough.
Just another peaceful... Always good to have a little rest.
Disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something.
am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness, and in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win, and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. You cannot kill me, and I don't want to kill you. But if you want to fight me now, I'll grant your wish. That's the least I can do. Impressive hit, but it'll take more to defeat me. You're no match for my... All right, that's enough. You win. This changes absolutely nothing, but I hope you at least feel better about yourself. If you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The menhir there is failing, and the weirdness is swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield that was given to Palamedes by the king. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone. Even when there was no king left to lead them. Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth, our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize, and then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
Hope nothing bad happens today.